"What happened, ma'am?" Garlic asked the poor woman at the hospital chamber. "Philomena happened," she replied, "but don't be too harsh on her. Despite this unfortunate episode, she is actually a sweetie." No matter how many times he went through it, it never got easier. Those hurt by the ones they cared the most always tried to defend their aggressors. But the sight of his fellow citizen lying in her chamber, completely exposed, said all her mouth refused to. It was hard enough for a young, healthy Zaffrin to shed their exoskeleton. To see an elder, afflicted by more chronic illness he cared to count, in such a condition boiled his hemolymph. Nevertheless, he keeps his calm and professionalism. Let us start from the beginning. I know it looks pretty bad, but really, there is no need to involve the peacekeepers. It was an accident. If anything, it was my fault. I'll make sure it won't happen again. I understand. I just want to make sure I get all facts straight and properly archived, so we don't bother you anymore, ma'am. It didn't feel good to lie to a victim, but he went trough this dance enough times to know talking her out of it was useless. They feared harming the aggressor more than they were harmed by them, and if he allowed this to continue, next time there might not be a victim to question. If you really want to hear it from the beginning, it all started a few deciles ago when my dear Talek left this mortal plane. Our hatchlings have long moved to other systems, and I couldn't ask them to simply leave their homes and come be with their old nester, but I didn't want to be alone either. I had not lived a single day of my life in a habitat all by myself, and, besides, there were practical concerns. My body is not the same as in my younger days, and if something happened to me, it was good to have someone around to at least call for help. So I put up an open call to rent a spare room. That's when you met this Philomena? Yes, my head was not in the right place when I put up the call, and I didn't take the time to set restrictions. Anyone of any age or species could answer the call without conditions, even those with companions. So when a human answered, I won't lie to you, officer, I was a bit apprehensive. Human. It all made sense now. Not only were they oblivious to the freakish strength they had developed in their ludicrous gravity or the ridiculous length of their overstretched limbs, they also got a taste for the disinfectants commonly used in the habitats and, after ingesting enough of it to kill a Traskian beast, they'd bumble and stumble through the streets, breaking everything in their path. Disturbances involving humans got so bad the city's peacemakers were issued megafauna tranquilizers, but this was the first time a human had assaulted someone. But it is not proper for a lady to retract an offer already accepted. She continued, so I did my best to prepare the room for Ms. Ronsky. When Ms. Ronsky arrived, she looked as imposing as a human gets, but she was actually very sweet. They always are at first, he thought. She even made sure to get my emergency contacts and make a list of my medications, should I ever have an emergency. At this very first contact, I was actually more cautious with her companion. You see, I had the time to look up humans and prepare myself, but I couldn't find much on her companion. This was a disaster waiting to happen. Humans are very protective of their animal companions and make no secret that any offense to them would be met with disproportionate violence, as taught by their god, the wicked. Was this a problem for Ms. Ronsky? No, she was not surprised by my ignorance and took the time to explain what to expect from her cat and how to handle it. Not that we didn't have our issues. What kind of issues? There was this one time the cat decided to lay in one of my shelves, the one I kept the hollow projection of my dear Talek and our hatchlings. She simply pushed the hollow projector out of the shelf while looking me straight in the eyes. How did you react, ma'am? Oh, I was very aggravated. I clacked my claws, raised my crest, even emptied my gas bladder. This was it. Such an aggressive display was known to cause multi-generational quarrel. No human would tolerate this offense against their companion. With dread, Garlic asked, was Ms. Ronsky in the habitat at the time? Yes, she came as soon as she heard the commotion. This is when the assault occurred? Oh, no. This was 2 decicycles ago, or was it 3? No, it was. Excuse me, ma'am. But Ms. Ronsky took no offense in your actions. Oh no, dear, she took my side. She yelled and waved a finger at the cat. I think this is the human equivalent of clacking claws and raising the crest. She was so embarrassed. Poor thing. By the next day, she returned from her work with a new projector, even after I insisted there was no need. But you did mention issues, plural. So this was not an isolated incident. Oh, no. This was only the first, but not last time I had trouble with the cat. One time I caught her sharpening her claws on my tapestry of ancestors. Another, while I slept, she killed a small animal and put the corpse near my head. She would grab my medicine flasks and push them around the house. There was this one time she... Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. But is it fair to say you and the cat were hostile to each other? No, dear, not in the slightest. Whenever I start missing my Talik, that cat comes and nests next to me. I caress her fur and always pick her toys and play with her when I have the time. Ms. Ronsky says I'm a cat nana. I'm still not sure what it is, but it sounds nice. So the assault had nothing to do with the cat? I wish this was the case, dear. Then, how did you get so seriously injured, ma'am? You see, dear. Last night Ms. Ronsky came to me and said, I'm really sorry to ask, but I need to give this pill to Philomena.